Hi everyone, in this video tutorial we will take a look on how to paint and adjust our viewing settings to obtain something like this. A 3D model that is colored and also has some material properties to it. To do this we will stick with the model that we created in the last and we will go to paint it and change its properties to create something that looks realistic. First of all, let's start by going in the Paint tab and clicking on Material. This interface will allow us to change the material of the whole object and also to modify its properties to react in a more realistic way to the light. First of all, let's select the Realistic option in the Type tab. Then we can ignore the color tab because we are going to apply a material to it. Then we will make a little bit glossier our model. And lastly, we will check this metallic box that will give our model a metallic finish. And lastly, we can choose what kind of metallic finish we want. In this case, let's stick with maybe this bronze gold. Moving on, we click Apply. And as you can see, we made our model look metallic. Moving on, by going to Texture, we can start to personalize how the model will look. In this case, we don't want a trophy that is all metallic, and maybe we want to differentiate the part of the columns and the stand with our brain from the base of the trophy. To do this, let's add a texture to the base and to the stand of the trophy. First of all, let's select our material. In this case, I'll go with walnut to give it some contrast. And by checking the brush tab that allows us to paint in just one move, one face of the object, let's apply it to our model. So we start from here, then move maybe to the edge, and by going around all the model, you can just paint all the faces of the base. Like this. Moving on, let's personalize also the stand with the Brain tab. So let's choose another material. Maybe in this case, I'll go with marble. And as before, let's apply our texture like this. By going around all the model, we can select all the faces. Once we have done it all, let's just click Apply and our model will be finished. Now let's see how to tweak a little bit the viewing option to better represent the material properties of our object. So let's click on the View tab and let's click on Center View to give us a clear view of the object. And here you can see all these options. Let's unclick them all and see what we can do by tweaking the settings. First of all, we can see that by clicking color, we are going to apply back all the colors of our materials, and by just adding shading, we can see that the program will start to apply a much more detailed 3D texture to our object. As you can see, the program already decided for us to add the shadows, but we can also remove them all to give a much generic shading effect to our object without covering the color with the shadows. In this case, let's just click on shadows to maintain it. Lastly, we can also add reflections. This will allow our object to just look more realistic. And lastly, we can apply smoothing to make all the surfaces of the object much more cohesive. Lastly, we can remove the grid, and as you can see, we will obtain a trophy that we personalize ourselves, and that by saving the object maybe in an STL format, 3D print to use maybe with our friends. For this tutorial, that's all. For more videos like this, follow JBDTube.